All right. Let me scroll back up the top here. Okay, welcome to the Boards and Commission Candidate Review Committee meeting for Monday, June 21st. It is 2:59, and we'll go ahead and do a call to order and roll call. To my left, we've got Josh Stecker, Assistant City
Clerk.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Okay, Councilmember Wook.
Here.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm here.
Okay, and Councilmember Denson is going to be right along at the right time. Councilmember Denson, can you hear us?
Yes, I am here.
Excellent. Excellent. And I asked Councilmember Wook to handle all the odd number of questions. We'll let you do. We'll just do. Councilmember Wook will do the first. I'll do the second, and then you'll do the third, and so on and so forth. Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
Great. All right. And at this point, let's go ahead and approve the minutes of March 15th and March 22nd for the Board and Commission Candidate Review Committee meetings. Do we have a motion to approve?
No, we do not.
Okay.
And the reason is with that, Josh, did you get that fixed for this one and send it out again or no?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to send it out, but the original copy is fixed. I had the wrong chair to open both meetings.
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
Councilmember Albersole is the chair now, not Councilmember Wook. So that's been corrected on both.
So we can approve with amendments then?
Yeah.
The amended version. So I move to approve the amended version of minutes of March 15th and March 22nd. And that amendment is to recognize that Councilmember Albersole is chair for those both meetings and ran a perfectly wonderful meeting.
Thank you. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The amendment is approved. Now, do we have a motion to approve the minutes for March 15th, March 22nd, Board and Commission Candidate Review Committee?
Yes. Aye. I move.
Okay. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those minutes are now approved as well. All right. We'll now go into our applicant interviews. The first on our list is John Krosky with the Planning Commission. Is Mr. Krosky available?
I'm bringing him up to the meeting right now.
Okay.
I believe his last name is Crossick, but you'll have to.
Oh, Krosik. Okay.
I
I had a Spanish interpreter giving me that. Mr. Krosik is welcome. Is that how you pronounce your last name, sir? And can you take yourself off mute, please, sir?
There.
And could you, Krosky, that is the correct pronunciation?
Krosik.
Krosik, okay. Is it okay if we call you John?
Absolutely.
Thank you, John. Excellent. Welcome today. And do you have a thorough understanding of what the Planning Commission roles or rules or responsibilities are?
Yes, I am a current member of the Planning Commission.
Very good, sir. Then I will allow Councilmember Wook to begin with the first question, please.
Good afternoon, John. Thanks so much for being here. I have the first question, which is please introduce yourself and let us know why you would like to continue serving on the Planning Commission.
Okay. Well, I've really enjoyed my time. I found it very worthwhile to be a member of the Planning Commission. We've dealt with a number of different issues ranging anywhere from telecommunications to shoreline master plan. And most recently, we have been working on the arts portion for the shoreline management program. And I have a great deal of experience in local government. In fact, I spent my entire adult career working local government for cities, counties, special districts, and a regional planning agency. So this really fits very well into my background to be on the Planning Commission. and I think I can be a valuable asset to the city in this role.
Thank you.
Okay, and John, I kind of already asked this question, but I'm just going to, for the sake of continuity for all candidates, I'll ask you as well again. Do you have any knowledge of the Planning Commission and its role?
Yes, I do. The Planning Commission is an advisory body to the City Council, and we receive issues that we deliberate on, and sometimes we have the opportunity to hold public hearings on them, receive public input on them, and then forward our recommendations to the City Council.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Denson.
All right, John. My question is, do you have any knowledge of zoning, land use, and growth management?
Yes, I do. We are operating under the state's growth management program, which has a whole host of different elements to it. Zoning, it's what you're allowed to do in certain parts of the city, what property owners are allowed to do with their properties, and that places restrictions on them as to how intensively those properties can be developed. And I think there was a third portion of your question, which just sort of flew out of my mind.
I think maybe, is that it?
Land use would have been the third. Zoning.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, land use is just simply the method in which the land in the city is allocated for development, for public use, or for preservation.
Holy camole, John, this seems odd to ask you these questions, I must say. However, here we go.
Okay.
So I know that you're familiar with our city's comprehensive plan. If so, please provide us with your opinion of strengths and weaknesses of our comprehensive plan.
Okay, I think the comprehensive plan really has been strengthened here by the current city council in terms of adding some additional requirements for developers to follow with respect to preservation of open spaces within the development. I think that was a weakness previously, prior to your actions of the old comprehensive plan, and I think it resulted in certain parts of the city of perhaps being overdeveloped. And I think that also we have a very good traffic element in the city. I know that was one of the areas that I participated in several of the public meetings on that before I was on the Planning Commission. So I think that's a strength. And I think the city, the voters also passed a sales tax addition that allows the city to accumulate additional dollars toward transportation. As you can see, I'm very focused on transportation because I think that's probably one of the major, if not the major issue facing the city at this time, is how do we accommodate the growth that we have and still provide adequate transportation for those of us to get around. I don't really see any glaring weaknesses in the comprehensive plan at this time.
Well, that's good news. Thank you.
Okay, John, briefly describe your vision for the future of Gig Harbor. What do you find special and unique about Gig Harbor? And forgive me, we're having our carpets cleaned, so there's a little noise in the background here.
Okay. There are two things that I see as really significant in Gig Harbor, and that is trees and water. And I think those are the two things that make Gig Harbor special, is that we've been able to, I think, to a good deal, preserve the forested areas around the city. That's extremely important. It's important from an environmental standpoint. It's important in terms of energy conservation. If you strip all the trees out, you're going to have homes that are using lots of air conditioning. You're going to have neighborhoods that are hot and crowded and uncomfortable to live in. And then, of course, the water. We're surrounded on three sides by water, and that's the other dimension that adds to the beauty and the special nature of our community.
Okay, wonderful, John. What do you see as the biggest challenges for Gig Harbor in terms of development?
Transportation. There's only one way in and out of Gig Harbor, and that's Highway 16. And if Highway 16 gets congested, that's going to have a tremendous impact on the economic development of Gig Harbor. It's going to affect the livability of our community, and it's going to affect our ability to develop in a responsible manner. So when I start to see Highway 16 evolving into stop and go traffic at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I start to get a bit concerned. And I think certainly one of the things we're going to have to look at for the future is how do we fix the one interchange that we have that is substandard. I also note near where we live, the big traffic circle, Burnham, Borgen, and Highway 16, sometimes it's very hard to get through that, especially in the afternoon. And that's going to be another issue that's going to be facing the city. So transportation, above all things, I think is the biggest development issue that we have.
My next.
Correct.
Okay, sorry. So John, what do you see as the biggest challenges? Well, you just said in Gig Harbor in terms of development. What do you see as the biggest challenges?
That was mine. You gotta do that, I think.
Council members, look, it's number 7.
Thank you. Sorry. I was so intent on listening to him because, quite frankly, he's got a lot of really good things that he's saying here. So I'll do it again. This time I'll get it right, maybe. John, do you have any conflicts that may prevent you from making an unbiased decision concerning the Planning Commission agenda items? And are you a member of any organizations that may influence your decisions?
No, I do not have any conflicts. The only property that I own in Gig Harbor is my personal residence. I don't know if this would be an issue or not, but I do serve on the homeowners board for our local association here, which represents 50 homeowners in the McCormick Ridge subdivision. I don't see that, though, as a conflict.
Thank you. And any other organizations? That's just the homeowners thing that you thought?
That's correct. No, I don't. My
right.
other interest would be outside the area of planning.
Thank you.
And John, the Planning Commission meets monthly on the first and third Thursdays at 5 p.m. Do you have any commitments that would keep you from attending these meetings?
I do not. I do some travel occasionally that might cause me to miss a meeting, but I would be able to advise the planning staff in advance of those conflicts.
Okay.
I've got a question, if I may, for him.
We got one last question, Mr. Mayor, and then we'll let you get in there. Councilmember Denson.
Yes, John, do you have anything you'd like to add or any questions for us about the Planning Commission?
I know the council, we had some discussions with the mayor, and those were ultimately given over to the council that we were interested perhaps in looking at some additional issues. And I believe the council responded favorably on that. What do you as council members see as things coming up that you would like to refer to the Planning Commission in the near future?
Great question.
It is a great question.
Stumper, I haven't got anything off the top of my head, but I wasn't planned on being asked questions. So
I think that you're right about transportation, especially since 16 sort of slices our town in half. Or sort of, but really one of the big issues that we have coming up is traffic calming ideas. And do you have anything on your bailiwick and great ideas for that, John?
Well, I think there are a whole host of different things that you can do with regard to that. Certainly, one of the things that I've seen is that we have improved crosswalks in some parts of the city where we've put bricks in the crosswalks. And I think that gives a very visual sense that there's something that the driver needs to be aware of here. I think also traffic circles are useful in terms of keeping traffic flowing in a responsible manner, because obviously you have to slow down to utilize the circle. The only problem that I've seen with the circles is for those people who really don't know how to use them. And that may be folks from outside of the area. So maybe, looking at the signage and making sure that that is doing its job. I know that there's been quite a bit of work put into the signage around the circles, but maybe there needs to be some additional things. I think, that's all I can think of right now off the top of my head, but I have seen a whole number of different things that can be done in that area.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr. Mayor, you had a question?
Anything else right now either. Jenny, I thought that was a good question Jenny asked. I feel like we did have a number of things that we were talking about a few months ago, and now I can't remember what they were. But, we welcome your suggestions too on the Planning Commission, because we like these things going through our citizens boards and commissions and really getting vetted before they come up to council. So thanks
Totally.
for your work.
Totally.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I apologize. Can you have your question ready?
Sure. And to answer your question on what you just asked us, or council, maybe economic development with planning, because, FirstCrest has actually done pretty well, but I used to always worry that FirstCrest didn't have the jobs. They had a great neighborhoods and residentials, but they didn't have the jobs and the sales tax of businesses. And one thing we do need in Gig Harbor, I think, is a little bit more light industrial and employment where they actually produce something and they don't have to leave town to go for work. And that would probably, fall under some of the Planning Commission to help guide some of that. So, it's actually kind of a fun question. What do you consider was one of your most important decisions that you made in the Planning Commission since you've been appointed?
Oh, that's a tough question, because we've dealt with a number of different things. Let's see, the most recent one was the art, but I think probably the shoreline work that we've been doing in the shoreline management has probably been the most important factor, because again, as I mentioned earlier, the water is such a big part of Gig Harbor. And while there weren't any major substantive changes, it's certainly something that we want to keep watching and making sure that we're doing the proper job of protecting our shoreline. And, as particular, since I've lived here, I've really been impressed with the way that we have proceeded in the city to put parks and other amenities in the harbor area. I think that's been a beautiful addition to the city. So yeah, that I think has probably been the most significant thing.
Thank you.
Any further questions from anyone? No? All right, John, I want to thank you for your time today. Let me check with Josh here as far as scheduling when we'll have an answer for you. I believe we're interviewing one other candidate for the Planning Commission. And Josh, when can you have us be able to get back to John to let him know our results?
You should be able to get back to him either later today or tomorrow. I think you should be able to make a decision today. So
very good.
And one reason why I'm sitting in this is because I believe the Planning Commission is mayor appointed, council recommendations.
Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you, John.
John, you'll have an answer today.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Bye now.
And at this time, I'd also like to recognize Greg Hoeksema, who is the chairman of the Planning Commission. He has joined us. Greg, thank you for being here.
Hi, Greg.
Do you have your air conditioner on? Hopefully.
I do. I'm sitting in my car, and I hate to run my car, but it's too hot.
It's hot. I would.
Okay, up next, that's Mr.
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson.
Our next interview is at 3:20, and he's not joined the meeting yet at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so since we have a couple minutes, as far as the parks persons, have any of you called any of the references on the park commissioner? Okay.
The park commissioner or on this candidate?
On this candidate?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe I've ever actually called any of the references.
Okay. I always like to check a reference before you make a decision, if you don't know the person at all.
Right. I look at the names, but I've never called them.
Okay.
Yeah, I look
Now,
them up online.
I've had family members speak bad against their own family when I've called references sometimes. So it's important. Okay, I think since we have a second, I'll go on mute and call Colleen Spear, just because I know her and she was running the references, and it's just nice to know what someone has to say. Then I'll report right back to you.
Okay, well, if our candidate comes in, though, we want to be able to move along. I've got another meeting after this.
Sure. So he's not there yet, so.
Yeah, we will have to adjourn this meeting by 4 o'clock because the Finance and Safety Committee meeting starts and we only have one clerk and one Zoom login, so we can't overlap anymore.
And we're still here.
And Josh, again, your title is city clerk, but what else?
Interim city clerk.
Interim city clerk.
We can make him king or prince or something.
Well, aren't you also, I can't think of what it's called. Open Government Administrator.
Yes, that's the title of the assistant clerk position that's vacant at the moment.
Okay.
Man of many hats.
I would just like to note that Jenny's ukulele band was amazing today.
We were good.
You guys were really good. I couldn't help but sing along. I mean, you guys sounded great.
Thank you.
It was so fun.
It is fun. It's fun. Every Saturday, that's where you'll find us, playing our ukulele somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, that was good.
Well, do we need to maybe call him?
So Josh, should you call him?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a call right now.
So I guess just to jump ahead, since Josh is probably calling him, right? Okay. I did just get off the phone with Colleen. I have a lot of respect for Colleen Spears. As most of you know, she's with the school district, and she's known Doug for quite a long time and said he's got a lot of integrity, and she has a lot of respect for him, and she thinks he'd be a great candidate. And I know he's our only one, but again, I think it's always good to at least call one reference if you don't know anything about someone.
And
so that's good for you all to know.
No, he's behind the Support Local Gig Harbor Facebook page.
You're on mute, Robin.
No,
I heard you.
I heard her.
Okay. So Mayor, he's behind that Support Local Gig Harbor Facebook page. So he's been really active, very active in the community and supporting local businesses. And I know he's a cyclist, so he definitely has opinions about, you know, sidewalks and parks and things. So I think he's pretty tuned in to what's going on.
Is that Local Gig Harbor a paid thing? Is he a marketing person and he
Nope.
He does that all for free?
He does. Yeah.
Wow. He said something today on his site that it made it sound like he was getting paid for this. He was doing this. He was not just that businesses were had approached him for marketing issue.
Well, I'm pretty sure not, but I didn't watch that video he had posted today. I'm almost positive. I mean, we can ask him, but I think it's just all him. I don't think the businesses would pay anyway.
Are you talking about Doug?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I had my volume all the way down. No, it sounds good. And I know we only have one candidate, but still good.
So how about Brad, Josh?
Brad.
Did you get in touch with Brad?
No, I could only get his voicemail.
Did he confirm today at all?
Yes.
Oh.
Sometimes people answer their emails right away. Do you need to say, are you having trouble signing on? So Spencer, are you in Mexico?
Only in my mind.
Or the Caymans or something?
This is my Scarface shirt. And when I wear it, I feel like Tony Montoya, and I almost feel like it's too dangerous to walk around on the streets of this. But today I'm going to Harbor Ridge Middle School to do their graduation broadcast. And so I think I'm going to knock them dead.
There you go.
Totally.
I'm going to wear my white hat on top. And yes, I'm going to look very touristy.
Spencer, you will see us. We're one of the last people to come through. Oh,
Okay,
wait.
good.
No. We're tomorrow. We're tomorrow at Kopech.
Kopechek, okay.
And you're going to be there, though, right?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. So yeah, tomorrow I'll wear something maybe blue. But this is, if you're back, especially if you're back east in the heat, like Jenny is wearing a cotton t-shirt. I couldn't do it. It's just too humid. I did it once and it was a terrible, terrible day. And then I found these things, and the breeze, the air flows, it's magic.
Magic. Yes. It's good to have magic clothes.
Yeah. Although I had one girl in Chicago, as I was walking down the street, she looked at me and she's like, "What are you, some kind of freak?" That's Chicago for you, so.
Well,
I assume she was looking at the shirt.
Yeah.
So, Robin, you said in your text that you were dropping Truett off at work. Does he have a job?
He does. He's working for Harbor Destiny Tours, the boat tours in the harbor.
Very cool.
Tom Drohan?
Yes. Yeah, he loves it. He's working a lot and, good experience for him.
Good.
Normally he can walk from our house, but today was his last day at school and he goes to Kopechek. So I had to pick him up to get him to work on time.
Racing down the roads.
No, I was going very slow on North Harbor View and Bernardson, as I always do.
Well, it looks like I have Mr. Johnson on the phone, and I've given him permission to speak. So hopefully he'll be able to hear us and talk to us at least.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, this is Spencer Abersold, the chair of the Boards and Commission Candidate Review Committee. Can you hear us, sir?
I can. Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. Sorry, it's not by video as planned.
It's all right. Things do happen. And also introduce Councilmember Wilk, Councilmember Denson, and our mayor, Mr. Kit Kuhn.
Pleasure to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you, sort of by phone. Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
Okay. And Councilmember Wilk, if you'd like to start off with question number 1.
I will. Thank you. So please introduce yourself a little bit, Brad, and let us know why you'd like to be on the Planning Commission.
Again, pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Brad Johnson, and my wife and I and our 2 kids are getting ready to actually move into Gig Harbor. So we're new residents of the area. We'll be leaving a week from tomorrow and driving across country to be there. And we've visited the area so many times over the last decade. It's always been a place we wanted to be able to relocate to and have our family. And we finally had the opportunity to take the jump and get the transition to go out there. So we're super excited about starting this kind of next chapter of our family adventure. And really, you know, when I saw I saw a Facebook post on the neighborhood Facebook group that I've joined with the area we're moving into, which is Harbor Hill, and they had a post up asking if anyone was interested in applying. And it just seemed like it's something I have an interest in. I love the area and am already invested in making sure that it maintains, you know, as it continues to grow, that it maintains the allure and the things that make it special that are the reasons we wanted to move there in the first place. So I thought it seemed like a good way to kind of immediately get involved with the community and the surrounding area and just be part of the Gig Harbor family.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you have any knowledge of the Planning Commission and its role?
I mean, to my understanding, it's the role of the commission to kind of keep an eye on what growth and zoning plans are being put in place to make sure that the city is sustainable and well thought out as it continues to grow and evolve, and that the Planning Commission offers their insights and recommendations on what those policies and decisions should be.
Councilmember Denson, number 3.
Yes, Brad. Well, welcome to Gig Harbor. Do you have any knowledge of zoning, land use, and growth management?
I would say, you know, other than the casual interest of, you know, keeping an eye on it with where I live now and attending the meetings and following the zoning decisions that are being made for Frederick, Maryland, which is where we are now. From like a professional, you know, have I done this for a living? No, I don't have any experience from that perspective, but it's all just from my own interest.
Councilmember Wook, number 4. Councilmember Wook, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. So, Brad, are you familiar with the city's comprehensive plan? If yes, provide us with your opinion of its strengths and weaknesses.
I'm actually not familiar with it yet. I haven't had a chance to dive into what the current plan is. So I'm afraid I don't have any thoughts to offer on that at this particular time.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, briefly describe your vision for the future of Gig Harbor. What do you find special and unique about Gig Harbor?
Excuse me. Well, I mean, to me, what makes Gig Harbor special is the fact that even as it's continued to grow, it's still, over the years as we've continued to visit, it still has a very strong sense of community and of that small town feel, even as it continues to grow and you get the new developments being added. And really, my thought would be that other than maintaining that sense and making sure that any growth or development that is done is done in a controlled and thoughtful manner to maintain the general feel that one has when you're visiting or when you're living in Gig Harbor. It's really, I've been excuse me, I've been in areas where that hasn't been kept in check, and it's really just been about kind of urban sprawl and overdevelopment without any thoughts to infrastructure or quality of life for the residents. So it's I guess my vision would be making sure that what is currently there, what makes everyone enjoy, what makes me enjoy living in Gig Harbor and wanting to live in Gig Harbor stays there even as the area continues to grow.
All right, I am up next. Brad, what do you see as the biggest challenges for Gig Harbor in terms of development?
I mean, From what I've been able to to see on our most recent trips out there as we were house hunting and looking, there seems to be some developing traffic issues that need to be dealt with or thought about in terms of providing alleviating backup and making sure that it's not prohibitively difficult to get in and out of the city. And that's kind of the primary thing that I've noticed so far.
Councilmember Wook, number 7.
Thank you. Brad, do you have any conflicts that may prevent you from making an unbiased decision concerning Planning Commission agenda items? And number 2, are you a member of any organizations that may influence your decisions?
No, I'm not. And there's no conflict of interest.
Thank you.
Brad, the Planning Commission meets monthly on the first and third Thursday at 5 p.m. Do you have any commitments that would keep you from attending meetings?
No, I work remotely, so I'm just working from home, and we're going to be living close by, so it's not an issue to meet those commitments at all.
Councilmember Denson, number 9.
Yeah, the last question I have is, do you have anything you'd like to add or any questions for us about the Planning Commission?
No, I mean, I look forward to learning more about the plan. Obviously, if I had a chance to dive into the specifics of the current plan, I'm sure I would have more questions, but I really just appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all, and appreciate the work that's being done to maintain the quality of life there in Gig Harbor and keep it the special place that it is. So, I hope to be able to work with you on the Planning Commission, but even if I don't, appreciate the work that you're all doing, and that's really all I've got to say about it.
Okay. And Mr. Johnson, our mayor actually gets to appoint the person for this position, and we should have an answer for you by either the end of today or tomorrow. But Mr. Mayor, did you want to throw in any last questions for the candidate?
If you were on this commission, what do you feel, even though you haven't been there before, what do you feel might be one of the most important decisions that you would want to weigh in on?
I think just based on my past experiences, I think the most important decisions really tend to stem around the expansion of residential space, and how many and how fast and location of where housing is being built. Just because I've seen firsthand how much of an impact it can have on an area when it's not thought through and it's not strategic, and the infrastructure is not in place prior to that building. And so that'd be one of the primary things that I'd love to be able to assist in making happen for Gig Harbor.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Johnson, thank you for your time today. And like I said, the mayor will be making his decisions probably this afternoon or maybe tomorrow. And our interim city clerk, Josh Decker, will be getting back to you with our decision or his decision.
Great. Well, thank you all so much. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and look forward to hearing from Josh.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Happy traveling.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Where are you coming
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm coming from Frederick, Maryland, so we're making about as big a trip as we possibly can.
Are you doing I-90 the whole way, or?
We've got a couple of trips, but a lot of 90. We're going the northern route, going up to Minneapolis for the 4th of July, and then heading west through Rapid City and going to Big Sky, Montana for a bit before hitting Coeur d'Alene and heading into Washington State.
Well, it should be a wonderful drive.
Yeah, we're taking our time. It's gonna be like a 15-day trip.
Cool.
So yeah, we're gonna
be sure to stop and see the thing.
See what?
The thing?
Yeah, in the along Interstate 10, if you're heading along the south, for like 2,000 miles board or what do they call them? Board signs that say "Stop and see the thing." It's just kind of a thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna have to Google that and see.
You won't see it if you're going up the northern route, but anyone who travels across from east to west, you got to stop and see it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
That's funny.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
All
you.
right. Have a great night.
So we do not have our 340 interview yet for the Parks Commission. Ben Coronado and Jeff Langhelm are here, so I'll promote them. But if you want to discuss the Planning Commission interviews, I can try to contact the last applicant for the Parks Commission.
Sure. Well, Councilmember Wood, Councilmember Denson, would you care to make any comments? I guess we can make recommendations and the mayor makes a choice.
So I thought it was very interesting what Katrina Knudsen, Director Knudsen, had to say today with her comment on Mr. Kratzky, on John, who already sits on the Planning Commission. She's very high on him, by the way. Thought he was doing a good job and that he attended the meetings. And so I'm wondering if Chair Hoeksema how he feels about John.
Yeah, his name is Krazik.
Krazik.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. We've all wrestled with it multiple times. But yeah, I would reinforce what Katrina had to say. John, as you could see just from his presentation at this interview, is a very experienced guy. We have a number, I would say 5 of our 7 commissioners are relatively new, and we had a period of time where the council had taken on a lot of the work of the Planning Commission, and then it's kind of been punted back to us. So we have a number of commissioners that really don't. And John provides that experience that we really need to have on the commission. He's a personable guy. You can see that he uses his thoughtful, calm words to convey strong feelings, but he's not an emotional guy. He's very logical. He's very methodical. He's very thoughtful. He listens to and presents both sides of an argument. He comes to every meeting prepared. It's currently been voted by his fellow commissioners just as of our last meeting to continue in his position as the vice chair for the following year. So, I mean, the bottom line is I would love to see John continue in serving on the Planning Commission.
Councilmember Denson, any thoughts?
Yeah, I thought John.
He just muted.
Sorry, John definitely knew what he was talking about, and that institutional knowledge is so important. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was great that Brad wants to get involved. He sounds like an intelligent guy, and I'm sure once he gets into town, I would encourage him for sure to get involved and apply again for something. But I don't think we could let go of a jewel like John.
So I would make a motion, I guess, and that we recommend to the mayor, John, for continuing on in the Planning Commission.
Okay, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Mr. Mayor, you have our recommendation. Can't hear you.
Glad I don't have to do that every meeting because it is hard to mute on, mute off. Yeah, I can support that. I would like Josh to reach out to Brad, kind of like Robin said, that we appreciate him applying, and we're excited to have him join our city and get involved. But I think I think John he's very smart. He's very sincere. He adds a lot, as Greg and Katrina have stated. And it would be a shame to let go of this Jim right now. And as Greg said, you know, you want some people to be there a lot more than 4 years when you've got a young group and all. And I think, you know, transportation is a big function of it. Brad did touch on that. I'm not quite sure how he meant with the residential, but I think he touched on it the same. But yes, I would support that recommendation, and I think John would continue to do a great job. I just want you, Josh, to tell Brad that we appreciate him as applying and keep trying.
And at this time, I'll go ahead and acknowledge Jeff Lingham, our City of Gig Harbor Public Works Department manager is here.
Oh, thank you.
And then also Ben Coronado, our chairman of our Parks Commission, is also joined us. And Josh, have we heard from, and I guess we can say thank you to Greg for being a part of this. We'll be going on to Parks Commissions next.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to provide input, and I'm signing off.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. Let's have Josh tell him first, but as well.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So Josh, have we got our next candidate, or where are we at? Because we're running out of time.
Calling me right now. Just stand by one moment.
Okay, I'm going to sign off too. I'm sure you all would do a fine job. I need a few minutes before our 4 o'clock, and you know, great decision-making group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll be probably a little late to the
Finance and safety.
Yeah, I can't get that right.
So they can't start without us there, Spencer, because I'm on that as well.
We're probably going to be a little bit late here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tarian is trying to call in right now over the phone, so we should see him momentarily.
Tarian is the last name pronunciation. Tarian.
That's how I
believe so. I'm not entirely sure.
And how about we switch up the order in which we ask questions? Councilmember Denson, if you want to start off with the first question, Councilmember Wook, number 2, I'll take number 3, so on and so forth. Just to keep this party going.
This party needs to go.
Yeah.
There be any objection from the committee to consider holding these meetings on the second Monday rather than the third Monday? We run up into the Finance and Safety Committee every third month.
I would love that. I think then we get all our meetings done on the same Mondays.
Okay, if there's consensus from the committee, I can make that change.
So I'm sorry, Councilmember Denson, did you say you're for keeping it here or moving it? Moving it, okay. Yeah. Councilmember Wook?
Yes, that's be fine.
Okay, not Council. Ben, how do you feel about that? Does that work for you? Jeff? Josh?
Yep.
I hate the idea, so we're leaving it at Monday. No.
Dictatorship.
Okay, good. We'll do that then.
Okay, we have Doug on the line.
Make a motion or anything?
No, it's good enough. Consensus is fine.
Okay, good. And Mr. Tarian, are you there?
Yes,
can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Is it okay if we call you Doug?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Of course.
Good.
Just don't use his middle name.
Got it. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, you are trying to become a member of the Parks Commission. And so we will let Councilmember Denson, or I'll let our council members introduce themselves.
So Doug, I'm Robin Denson, and I know you.
Yes, yes.
And I'm Jenny Wook, as city council person. I don't know you except through your Facebook posts.
I kind of know you, but yeah.
And I'm Spencer Abersold, City Council as well. And then we've also got Ben Coronado, who is our chair of our Parks Commission. Ben, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, Doug. Nice to speak with you.
Hi. Hi, Ben.
And then Jeff Langhelm, who is the director of our Public Works Department, who also works extensively with our our Parks Commission.
Hi, Doug. Nice to meet you on the phone.
Nice. Yeah, same here.
All right, Councilmember Denson, you may go with the first question, please.
All right, Doug, please introduce yourself and let us know why you'd like to be on the Parks Commission.
Okay, my name is Doug. Richard is my middle name. Carrion. Lived here in Gig Harbor, for about, I don't know, 8-10 years. I used to work in the harbor back in the 70s. I'm 63 years old. Why do I want to do this? Well, that's kind of a long, there's many different facets to that answer. But I just want to help out, basically. I'll just sum it to that.
Okay.
So I'll start with the second question then.
Yes.
Doug, do you have any knowledge of the Parks Commission and its roles?
You know, I really don't. I've worked with, when I was Little League president, vice president, in Federal Way, I had 700 kids. I dealt with the Parks Commission up there, but nothing in this role.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Doug, what is your favorite Gig Harbor City Park? Why, and how could it be improved, if it can be improved at all?
Oh, good question. Oh boy, how much time do I get here?
9 more minutes.
Okay, you know what? I'm really close to Scansy Park. I'm always down there. I just wish you guys would just have me do the lawn care there. I think we could do a lot better job, but that's easy for me to say. There's so much traffic. You got the Christmas tree that comes up in the wintertime. There's so many people. You got geese on there. And you also got dogs, and it just kind of gets worn out. And I wish we could make it a little prettier.
Councilmember Denson, number 4.
All right, Doug, what do you feel are a couple of the major issues that the Parks Commission should be focusing on?
Well, you know, I'm just going to say kind of like a global answer here. I think the parks, Gig Harbor is growing so much. We all know this. It's incredible what's going on here. I think we should be adding more and more to our park systems so families can use it in a safe way. And exactly what that is, I think it's different for every park. I really do like being a past Little League president. I really like the baseball fields, the soccer fields. I was a coach for my kids' sports for about 10 years. And I really think I would really like to push that if it needs to be pushed.
Okay, Councilmember Wook, number 5.
The Parks Commission meets monthly on the first Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Do you have any other commitments that would keep you from attending meetings?
Well, you know what? That's a very good question again, because I was wondering. I'm a very busy person. I have my own little business, and I've got all sorts of side things going on. But if it's one day a month, and if I know exactly when it is, that will not be an issue one bit.
Okay. And last question. Do you have anything you'd like to add or any question for us about the Parks Commission?
Well, I think my question would be kind of pertaining to myself. I'm a type of person who takes ownership, who takes responsibility. I'm not one that kind of let things get pushed around if I don't think that they're correct. Although I do know that I need to learn some things, and if I feel there's something that is not quite right, then it'd be my job to find out if I need to, get a little bit more education on this and maybe change my mind. But I'm a type of person that will take ownership and run with it.
Well, Doug, I think we should have an answer for you hopefully by the end of today or sometime early tomorrow. Is that correct, Josh?
Yeah, that's correct. I think you'll be able to make your decision today, and I can relay that as soon as I have time.
Great. Ben, do you have any questions you'd like to throw out?
Not at the moment, but I just appreciate Doug's time, and he seems very passionate about the city, and we always appreciate that on the Parks Commission. So, thank you, Doug.
Yeah, I would love to help.
Okay, and I would echo that sentiment. Other council members, any final questions, comments?
No, Doug, thanks so much for applying for this and being interested in our parks. I do have one little tiny question, just sort of a personal interest, because we see you all over Facebook, and it's wonderful how you promote businesses. So I'm wondering, is this a marketing business that you have going, or is this just one of the many things you do in your free time?
No, you have to understand, I make not one penny on any of this, not one penny. And I've had people actually offer money, and I have not accepted not one penny. I am not into marketing at all. I actually build showers. I'm a tile installer, okay, for trade now in my older life. But I will add this, if I could. 4 years ago, I got ran over on my bicycle. The people of Gig Harbor were very generous to me. And this is my way to pay back.
Well, you do a great job. It's a wonderful thing to see what you do. It's wonderful how you encourage folks to go shopping. I love to see it. So thank you for all you do.
Doug, I was hoping you were going to bring up your cycling, because I think that might be a unique perspective for the Parks Commission. Can you just say kind of what you could bring to the Parks Commission as an avid cyclist as we look at designing our streets and sidewalks?
Well, yes. I've been a long distance cyclist being 50 miles a day or more since like 1967, I think. I've ridden from here to Denver a couple times. And like I mentioned, 4 years ago, I got ran over when I was on my bicycle. But since then, I've gotten into more of the design and engineering of the roads and the sidewalks and the safety of pedestrians, of bicycles. And I've spent hundreds of hours researching those facets of it. And I think I could go on for hours on this. but I really think I could bring something to the Parks Commission in this arena.
Okay. Well, Doug, thank you for your time today. And we're going to have to cut this meeting off because we've got another one coming up here, but you'll be hearing from us quickly.
Thank you very much. And I apologize for my stupidity on Zoom.
Bye. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Okay, any motions to approve or disapprove?
I'll move to approve Doug Terrian for the Parks Commission.
And I would second that so we recommend to the council and they approve, right?
Yes.
So I second that recommendation for approval.
Okay, and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay, so Josh, you'll note that. Jeff, do you have something to comment?
Just a quick question, maybe it's just for Josh. Josh, so Doug will be filling a position that was currently filled by Ben Laurent. Does he just fill the remaining time on Ben's term then, I'm assuming?
He does, yeah. Ben's term, Ben only filled about 2 or 3 months of his term, so
okay.
it functionally works out to be a full 3-year term, or
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
say Ben
2 3/4.
didn't get in there much.
Okay.
And was, Josh, I guess a quick question on that follow-up then. Was Ben fulfilling the rest of somebody else's term?
No, Ben was just reappointed in April or March, late March. So he just re-upped and then decided to step down.
So Josh, can you reach out to Mr. Tenson? I guess I was probably incorrect because we won't be getting back to him today or tomorrow because it will have to go to council. So it'll be next week.
I let them know that. I'll just let them know that it'll become official on the 28th when council makes the appointment.
Great. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn if we have no further business?
I move to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. I'll see everyone, or I'll see you
Next door.